Everybody, it's Thursday. It's time for another weekly haul video. My name is Scott here at Comic Book Hangover, and yeah, every Thursday I go ahead and do my video for the books I picked up because I like to talk about some of them a little bit, and I'm always one that's really hesitant to do books and give away spoilers because I know I hate my books being spoiled, but by and large I'm able to get my books read Wednesday night, so I'm hoping that everybody else is able to do the same thing as well. So, but still, I try to not give too many spoilers because spoilers suck. So this week was kind of a small week, smaller than it has been the past couple of weeks anyway. So we're just going to kind of jump into it, starting off with this one here that I found in my local comic shop, Marvel Age. This is issue 89. This is the first cover appearance of the Toxic Avenger in a Marvel comic. Though technically this isn't a comic book, but still, this is the first cover appearance on a Marvel book with the Toxic Avenger. And yeah, they had it down in my LCS. It's in really great condition. I have the Marvel series, The Toxic Avenger, first issue signed by Lloyd Kaufman, so I figured I should probably have this one as well. They had it, I bought it. Next up is, this was a free book. This was a free book that my LCS had, and so it should be one at your LCS as well. This is the Ninja Turtles Road to 100. Now, I kind of flipped through it. I haven't read it yet. I do plan on reading it, but from my impression, it kind of gives you the rundown of what has happened in this series up to this point. I think issue 100 is the next one to come on. It's going to be the first time that a Ninja Turtles book has ever gone from issue 1 to 100. So I'm sure you Ninja Turtles fans out there are very excited about this, and you have every right to be. This is a milestone. This is a major milestone for you Turtles fans. I'm very happy for you. But if you haven't gotten this one yet, it's a free book available at your local comic shop. Definitely recommend picking it up. We also got, here, real quickly. We went to Dollar Tree today at one of our malls and found these things. They're figure bag clips. Got Optimus Prime and Megatron. The Megatron coloring on his fusion cannon is a little funky, but it's still pretty cool. It's G1. There's only 4 in the set. The only other one I want to get is Soundwave because the 4th one in the set is Bumblebee, and nobody really actually likes Bumblebee. Moving on to comic books, we're going to do here are the reprints that I picked up this week. Tomb of Dracula, Facsimile Edition from Tomb of Dracula number 10. This is the first appearance of Blade. So this is one of those books that I will likely never be able to afford an original of. So the Facsimile Edition is perfect. It's, in case you're not aware, the Facsimile Editions are exact replications of the comic book all the way down to advertisements and letters pages, bullpens and everything. So if you want the book and you're like me and you're really not opposed to having a book without it being the original, Facsimile editions are perfect, along with the dollar reprints. The Marvel True Believers books are perfect, along with DC's version of the True Believers, the dollar comics. They put out Blackest Night number 1 for $1. Now the reason why I'm saying it that way is because Blackest Night number 1 was a double-sized book. This is the entire first issue. You can kind of see how thick, let's see if we can get that in there, you can kind of see how thick that is. It's a full-sized comic book, for a double-sized issue for $1. So if you've never read Blackest Night, like I've never read it, but I read this one, so now I'm going to be looking for the trade because it's very, very cool. It's basically, up until this point, they introduced all these different color lantern rings, and this one introduced the Black Lantern ring, which was death. And at the beginning of this issue, and this story is like 10 years old, so this is not really a major spoiler. So these Black Lantern rings, they show up all across the universe. They go to all these dead characters and resurrect them basically as zombie Green Lanterns or zombie Black Lanterns. So very, very, very well done book. Like I said, I've never read it. I read this one, and I'm going to be grabbing the trade for it. That came out this week because we got the new Tales from the Dark Multiverse Blackest Night, and this one here, I guess in the original story, Sinestro sort of sacrifices his powers or something, and he's basically the reason why the Black Lanterns were defeated in Blackest Night. In this one here, slight turn of events, he decides not to help, decides to keep his power, to keep all the power to himself, and everything goes to hell. So basically all that's left in this version of the DC universe is Sinestro, who is half White Lantern and half Black Lantern, so it's kind of like a two-faced thing going there for him. You've got Dove from Hawk and Dove, Mr. Miracle, and Lobo. It's written by Tim Seeley with art by Kyle Holtz. or Hotz. I don't know if it's Hotz or Hotz, but he is one of my favorite artists. It kind of annoys me that I don't know how to pronounce his name. But seeing him do Lobo was great. And actually seeing him do the Black Lanterns made them even creepier than what they were before. So not as good as the previous one, the Death of Superman one, but I'd say out of the 3 that have been released, Death of Superman is my favorite, this would be my second favorite, and the Batman Nightfall would be my third. We got 2 more to go, and I'm really looking forward to them. For the regular books that I picked up this week, Dollhouse Family #1. This is from Black Label. Yeah, this is a DC's Black Label imprint that has its own imprint, Hill Comics, and these are all done by Joe Hill. And there's a small line of books. They're all horror-related books. These they're standalone 6-issue miniseries. Hopefully I can get this out for you guys. But from what I've seen, they're all 6-issue standalone miniseries with one thing connecting them, and that is this Sea Dogs series that goes throughout every single issue. It's only like 1 or 2 pages at the end of the issue. So it's one of those things that if you want the whole Sea Dogs story, you have to get all of these books. But if you're just wanting to try them out and you find 1 or 2 of them that you like and you have no interest in the Sea Dog story, then you don't have to get them all. I definitely liked last one, Basket Full of Heads. Dollhouse Family. It's okay. It's about this little girl who inherits this dollhouse from an aunt that I guess they never knew existed, and the dolls inside they're actually alive, and she wants to being able to shrink down and go into the dollhouse, and there's the horror element to it is this black room that has this weird entity in it that says that it can help her abusive mom escape from her abusive the little girl's abusive father by killing him, but the price might be too high for her to pay. So she's a little girl that's dealing with some very major issues. But it was good. I was really super excited that the art in there, Vince Locke right there, one of my other favorite artists of all time, and a super nice guy. If you're ever at a convention, you see Vince Locke in a show, go see him. Go check out his stuff. He's a real nice guy. He just seems so calm all the time. It's amazing. I love going to his table, talking to him for a little bit, and I always buy something from him. And just because the guy is just an amazing artist. I also grabbed Elvira #10. Now, I thought this series was coming to an end, but apparently there's an issue 11 coming out, so I don't know if issue 11 is going to be the last issue. So I'm just going to ride the wave. I love reading these Elvira books. They're a lot of fun. I like the meta humor in it. She does break the fourth wall. It's not annoying like with Deadpool, but it's fun. If you're an Elvira fan, as I say, Elvira fans definitely check that one out. Go Power Rangers #25. Kind of surprised they didn't do a special gimmick for this one. They used to do gimmicks for all the 25th issues, but this continues the Necessary Evil storyline and is quite possibly, the lead-in to the White Ranger showing up in this book. Got the penultimate issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. This is issue 11. Donnie Yates still knocking it out of the park. I'm really enjoying his depiction of these characters. I'm going to be sad to see the series end with issue 12. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it because they're not going to continue the numbering. They're just instead of just bringing in a new team and continuing the number, they're going to end this series, bring in the new team, start over from another #1, and that just kind of makes me lose my interest. I always hate starting over with my books. I'd want to have a long-running series. But Donnie Cates is knocking this one out of the park. I'm going to be sad to see him go, but I know he has me blocked on Twitter, as I've said before, but as I've always also said before, regardless if you ever see this or not, thank you for finally showing some respect for this series. It's not a joke anymore, and I do appreciate that. I hope the next creative team, I think Al Ewing is going to be writing it. I'm familiar with him. I don't know how he does with the cosmic stuff. I might check out the first issue, hoping that he continues what Cates started, because Cates definitely rebooted this franchise, this series, and made it worth reading again. Going back to my other favorite artist, Kyle Hotz, whatever. Morbius #1. I wasn't sure I knew they were going to do a bunch of variant covers for it. I was just going to get the regular cover because I'm not really that big into variants. I try not to get them because I think there's way too many of them. But once in a while they have an artist do a cover that's amazing, and Kyle knocked it out of the park with this one. This is an absolutely beautiful cover. I'm not quite sure about the wings. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't care because it looks freaking awesome. So that's all that matters. It looks awesome, and Kyle just, oh man, do more of these. If you do more of these covers, all I will have are variant covers. So those are all the new books that I picked up this week, except for the Marvel Age, which is an old book, but a new book for my collection this week. I also managed to find a couple of these Walmart variants. The Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse #1, first print Walmart variant cover. I grabbed 2 of them. My Walmart had 3 of them. The third one wasn't in the best condition, but I didn't want to buy it anyway because I guess all Walmart's got 3 of them, and I didn't want to be the guy that bought them all up. If you do, that's fine. It's whatever. But that's just a personal thing for me. So with that and these, that's only 11 books. I got 12 spots on my wall. So when I need another book, I figure another one of these examples of I hear a lot of times online people asking the question, what key books should I buy? What books should I buy that are good investments? I take it the opposite way. Always buy the books that you like, or in this case, buy a book because the cover is freaking sweet. Marvel Fanfare #6, P. Craig Russell cover, absolutely amazing. Scarlet Witch holding a, we'll say unconscious, and it looks like a little either sweat or something there, but we'll say an unconscious body of Spider-Man. This has always been one of my favorite covers from the first time I saw this one years ago, and I'd only ever seen pictures of it, and then I remember being at my LCS and finding this, flipping through the dollar boxes and finding it, and it's like, I had to have this cover. I love this cover. I haven't read the book, but I do look at the cover quite a bit, and I'm just going to go up on the wall this week because I like to come into my comic book room sometimes, just sit there and just stare at my comics. I'm sure you other comic book people know what I'm talking about. You just like to stare at your collection every once in a while, or just look at specific covers because they're freaking awesome. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'm going to set this stuff up on the wall and see what it looks like. Alright, gang, there's the wall this week. A nice variety of books this week, actually. Some dollar reprints, some new stuff, some brand new stuff that I'm kind of impressed with. Some great covers, some excellent little reprints, some freebies, great covers. So nice selection of books on the wall this week. So there you go. There you have it. There's what I grabbed. That's what I'm interested in. And as I always like to say at the end of these little videos here, you know, when you go to your local comic shop, always ask them, you know, to suggest something new for you to try. So never be afraid to try new books. Never be afraid to try new stuff. If you can find it, you know, in the back issue bin, you find it in the dollar bin, or if they have something that's, if there's dollar reprints of something that you're even remotely curious about, especially if it leads into something else, check it out. Dollar reprints are a great way to check out stuff, and you might even, you know, grab something that you'll, you know, start a storyline and decide, you know what, I want to try to get the rest of these, either trade paperback or individual back issues. It's a great way to go, and I always recommend trying something new. Don't close yourself off to something because, you know, the writer's got you blocked on Twitter or some such nonsense like that. If they're talented and they're doing stuff that you like, support it. It doesn't matter what's going on social media. So that's what I got this week. Hope everybody enjoyed it. As always, feel free to you know, like and subscribe to the video. Share it if you feel necessary. If you feel it's necessary, and you know, you make any kind of comments you like down below. Always like to talk about comic books. So we will see you next time.